Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to another edition of Talk That Tech. The
Number one tech morning show in the world. Good morning.
good morning, and definitely excited. There's a lot to talk about this morning, so we're glad to have you here. If you're brand new, definitely, if you find anything interesting, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. As you know the drill, this is also a call-in show as a reminder. So if there's anything you would love to chime in and talk about, I will definitely drop in the link. We will drop that link for you so you can join us on the show. And as I mentioned before, we're doing a new thing here where basically, if you comment, we're gonna shout you out the end. Let the viewers know who you are and give you that little shout out there. So yeah, definitely appreciate that. Everybody that's been supporting the show has been great. We're gonna get into it. Like, how was your weekend, Trey? How was everything going? Ooh, Dale, I think we lost you there. No, not yet. All right. Well,
Can you guys hear me
yeah,
now?
yeah. There we go.
Don't know why it automatically switched my mic, but we're here. I told you I had a little trouble, but anyway, yeah, no, the weekend was good, man. Just had a little bit going on, not too much. Saturday, didn't do too much outside of the house. Sunday, went to church, and then the brothers we had a little barbecue and everything for the football game. Obviously, y'all know I live in Texas, so I don't have to say which football game, and I also don't have to say what the outcome was, but I am anyway. Okay, we had a little get together, barbecue, and all that stuff for the Cowboys game, right? Cowboys and the Chicago Bears, and they just got demolished. So nonetheless, good fellowship, great food, so it's still worth it. But yeah, y'all already know how that goes. But yeah, that was the weekend, man. A little highlight of the week, though, I did get to go to one of the conferences here in DFW. Um, it was down at the Omni Hotel in downtown Dallas, and yeah, it was a Channels conference that was it went really well. I met a lot of people. Shout out to Ty Smith. He was in town for the day. Had to move around to other cities and other states to do the same thing. But yeah, I had a good time there as well, man.
Shout out to Ty Smith, by the way. Really clutch always. Great friend of the show. And if you haven't, go ahead and connect with him. We had a previous episode with him about Afrotech and a few other episodes where he jumped on. So if you get a chance, definitely connect with him. Also, he is, I would say, one of the founders, not the founder of Black Tech Global, which we'll talk about in a few. So definitely
Yes.
connect with him. In regards to me, man, the weekend was good. We were just coming back from family vacation, so just kind of like catching up on things. Even now, catching up on messages that are just coming in, and it's like, oh yeah, I got to come back to this stuff. Um, so yeah, so overall, it's been good. Overall, it's been a good time, good experience. In regards to just the weekend, and just really kind of like basically, come back, had like work on chores and things of that nature, and so it was good. It was good overall. Cannot
Good stuff.
complain.
Yeah, man. I saw y'all had a great time, man. I was scrolling on LinkedIn and saw how good of a time y'all was having.
Yeah,
Obviously, stuff happens, but overall, good time.
yeah. It was a good time. It was just our one of our sons. We did like family pictures like right before we left, and he was playing in like the dirt, and we're in the woods. I don't know, I was trying to keep him away from it, but he was just having a good old time. Anyway, his eye like started ballooning out of nowhere. So we know I don't think he got hit by anything. So we were too sure if it was allergic reaction, but when it stayed there, we took him to St. Luke's University Hospital Health Systems, which was nearby where we were staying, and they gave us some antibiotics, and he was good, or whatever it needed to get kind of bring that swelling down. But
Great deal.
yeah, so that worked out. That worked out. Oh man. Well, listen, y'all. If you guys are tuning in, watching into the show, like I mentioned, this is a call-in show, so we're gonna drop that link for you and that means anytime throughout the show, we're definitely going to have something that you can talk about. And the topics that are coming today are pretty cool, but definitely that big one with the Oracle and Meta deal, we definitely want to make sure that you get a chance to talk about that. We I saw something. This is more of like an icebreaker, but I saw something earlier that somebody was saying that they basically went into one of these stores, Walmart, Target. I'm not sure which one it was, but literally Christmas decorations galore. And they had a question I thought was interesting for us. Is it too early for Christmas decorations? Is it too early to have that up in the stores? And I wanted to hear your thoughts on that. You think it's too early for Christmas
That's
decorations?
hilarious. That's hilarious, man. Depending on who it is, absolutely not. Depending on who it is, absolutely not. If you are my wife, you think Christmas is all year long. So, I had no clue there was a such thing as Christmas in July, and all of these things. We have a Christmas store here, a huge one here in DFW, and yeah, she's been threatening to go in there for months now. So I would say if I was not married to her, I would say, yeah, it's way too early. But because I know a person, I would say not to everyone, for most.
Hmm. Yeah, I think for me it's like okay. Um, I somebody said in the comment section too. They're like, "Don't let Mariah Carey know." But
Oh yeah,
basically,
no, she gonna get her money on, and that's for sure.
yeah, it's time to run it up with her. But in regards to the way I think about it, I think it might be a little too early. We're in September. I mean, at least maybe November 1st. Give yourself a nice 60-day runway. I mean, like some people are like Thanksgiving is not even here. Some people think like even let's just wait for Thanksgiving to happen and then have the Christmas things roll. But by
I
that
think
time it's
that's
here.
normally how it was, but
Yeah, yeah. So the fact that they're pushing in September, it's kind of interesting.
man, they
Um,
trying to get a head start on them deals, man. I mean, the money. You
the
gotta get a
money,
head start on that money rolling in, man.
yeah. So they said the commercialization of this thing is what they're looking at. Oh man, but yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, man, it's I had got a comment on one of my videos where I had what was it? Oh, I was um, taking in a jacket, right? Sewing a jacket, and I was making it smaller. Like it was a big one, I made it smaller, and then I just got a comment on it literally yesterday, and I was reading it, and the dude was like, "It's crazy how you know." It's crazy how right now the before jacket is what we should be buying or what people like right now, and all I said, bro, was psychological obsolescence, man. And if you don't know what that means for people out there, it's just the commercialization of them putting out trends so that you can buy them, right? So the skirt is
Mhm.
long this season, next season the skirt is short, big jacket, and that's all they're doing with these holidays. How can we squeeze in more money, right? So we hit them with the pre-Christmas, hey, you can only get this right now, and then they take it away because you got October and you got Thanksgiving. And then they bring it back out. It's like, oh yeah. So we hit them twice. We get them twice, coming in and going.
Yeah, man. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I see what you're saying for sure. I'm looking at Tech Coach Ralph because he's in the building. He says,
What it
"Morning,
do?
fellas,
What up,
morning."
man?
And he said you should get a gift in July, Trey. Um,
Man, you got a wife. You got a wife, man. You that's funny.
that's
Wishful
hilarious.
thinking. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Yeah, I should, right? I should get one in July if that's the case.
Yeah, no, I mean honestly,
Mm-mm.
the way
She
the
thinking
thing,
about what she can put on the tree, man.
yeah, no, the way the thing is rolling out, I think I need to start, actually being thinking some thoughtful gifts now. It's try to get these
Yeah,
things.
I know, right? For
Oh
real, get
man.
it done.
Get her in. And then T. Coach Rouse says slow sales this year. I guess so. Maybe that's the reason. Didn't
I
think about
wouldn't
that.
doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it.
Man, that's a good point. Well, one thing I would say is not slow is the fact that we've been monitoring this whole trend with the White House and government and TikTok, and they are not trying to, uh, actually it's been a slow coming around, to be honest with you, but they're trying to speed things up in regards to make sure that this ownership thing is happening. I don't know what's going to happen, but we're going to dive right into it just to keep you abreast like we promised to. And with that, I'm going to pass it back to Trey to talk more about what's going on here.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So, man, the White House, y'all know, basically they're making some headway. They're making some moves. Y'all know we talked about this a long time ago. Now we're bringing it back because some new updates. So, the White House, they announced a major deal between the U.S. and China that would literally overhaul TikTok's operations here in America, right? So, basically, under this agreement, the U.S. investors will own about 80% of TikTok's US business, and they hold 6 of the 7 board seats. So this is going to leave ByteDance, which is the parent company of TikTok, with less than 20% ownership of the United States one, the America side, right? And a key part of the deal is that TikTok's algorithm, obviously, that's what they really wanted. I'd like to know who the actual U.S. investors are. I'm just being honest. But anyway, the algorithm, which that's what decides what videos people see and when they see them. So that's now going to be controlled, retained, and managed in the U.S., independent of ByteDance, right? So also Oracle. The company Oracle, right? The tech company Oracle, they're going to be handling all of the American user data as well. So this is going to make sure that that data is stored here on the US server. So, quick breakdown, TikTok, they show us, right, all these videos. That's their secret recipe, AKA the algorithm. This deal is saying that American now hold the recipe book, right? So that's going to decide how it works here in American soil. Oracle, they get to keep the US info, the user information safe, right? Inside of America. And then China, the parent company ByteDance, they only get a little say so, right? You got less than 20%, which is 1 out of the 7 seat on the board. So that's pretty wild that they're agreeing to this. I don't know. But anyways, what changed and why now? Congress, they said basically sell it or ban it back in 2024. And those deadlines, they got pushed. So now the White House has now laid out a good structure to avoid the ban, because ultimately that's what they want. They know all these millions of people, they want TikTok. So they also wanted to calm the national security fears as well. That's what they're saying. Anyways, Trump says he's cool with it after talking with Xi, and some in Congress are still want to they want to see it happen. So ultimately, the big idea is just to keep 170 million Americans happy by allowing them to be able to stay on the app without, foreign control, so to speak. So yeah, I mean, ultimately, what we're going to still be out on the lookout for is these final signatures, right? And the actual enforcement dates, and then how fast this algorithm gets retained by the U.S. oversight. I'd like to see also Oracle's role, like growing inside of AI and data security after this, right? So they secure this deal. We also know we're going to be talking about Oracle a little later. So yeah, I need to know what that stock doing. So yeah, we're gonna keep an eyes out and ears open for that kind of stuff right there. But yeah, that's what's happening, man. So anyways, yeah, if this deal is if it lands as advertised, TikTok will continue to be here in the US, and we'll actually hold the keys as well. So, what do y'all think that this deal is actually gonna, is it gonna work for real in real life? Or are they gonna be like, bro, we're not giving up 6 out of the 7 seats on the board and allowing Oracle? Is TikTok going to be gullible or not? I don't know.
Yeah, time will tell, because that's a lot. But man, one thing I gotta say is Oracle is busy this year. They are
Don't call it a comeback, but they've been here for years.
Literally, they've been here for years, and now it's like, man. I think their CEO recently, just for a little bit, Elon Musk as the richest, uh, I guess I would say human, I guess, in the world. Um, according
Possibly.
to possibly, but we know how that Dubai money is. They don't tell
Hey
you
man,
the stuff they got. Uh,
exactly. When I found out how those lists work, like
yeah,
you gotta give over some stuff and then tell them. I'm like, man, the real richest people they ain't doing that.
yeah,
It's some now. Don't get me wrong, Elon he up there for sure, but it's some people out there that's they on that list. We don't know. We
yeah,
don't know. They moving in silence like lasagna.
yeah. They're moving in silence like lasagna. So listen, y'all, as y'all letting us know, that's the one thing that kind of popped out to me is because we were planning to talk about Oracle, and then
Well,
whew,
bless you, man.
so tight. Try to make it in time. I don't know if I did. But
Nah, it sounded a little weird.
yeah, I tried to cut out the mic before I did. Oh man, but yeah, I that's a tricky thing. I mean, like Coach Ralph says, he's like TikTok. What? I don't care. But in regards to a lot of other people, they're really kind of getting
170 million of them.
that's a lot of people. Thinking, especially thinking the fact that we're what 370 Americans altogether, I believe, or something a little bit higher than that or shorter than that in regards to total population. So yeah, I think that it's definitely something of interest for sure. Coach Ralph says if it's really China owned, ByteDance doesn't have a choice. Also, the TikTok economy going away would hurt a lot of employees and content creators. Also, TikTok played a major role in the election results.
Listen, man, and they know this. They know this. I wouldn't be surprised if some big people, have invested a little money in some of these e-com stores and realized how much money was being printed on TikTok Shop. And they're
Yeah.
like, hey, this thing might not be as bad as I thought. I wouldn't be surprised, bro.
Yeah, like we discussed before, must be the money, and that's definitely the case with this as well. The influence, the fact that the younger generation they treat it as their search engine. Honestly, if they want to find something that they feel is not that is raw, that's real, they'll search in that TikTok shop. Except for celebrities' death, that's one thing that, for whatever reason, it's
Not having it.
worst place to look to find that out. But
Well,
but everything
I mean,
else,
even myself, man, even myself. If I want to see, like, oh, say for instance, Oracle just laid off 10,000 people. I know somebody on there talking about it that
yeah,
just got laid off. So I want to see it. I go straight there.
yeah,
Hey, Oracle, 10,000 layoff. Somebody on there. Hey, y'all, I just got laid off, man. It's crazy. I know somebody
mhm,
on there doing it.
yeah. And Teco Drought says, and now a big chunk of that money goes to the U.S. as opposed to China. And of course, those lists will
Hmm.
not keep that algorithm sealed. It's going to all these other
I
guys are
think
getting a piece of the pie.
I think my only thing though, for real, is will they switch some stuff up? Because people get in, they gotta feel like they gotta put they hand on something, like put they mark, leave their mark on it. And I'm like, we gonna know as soon as the U.S. gets the the algorithm in hand. Now stuff starts changing, and it don't look the same.
Yeah,
And it's like I really hope, and this is just from the business side. I hope they don't change much because that's what is keeping people on in the first place. So
yeah.
you start moving and changing stuff. Now people don't want to be on the app, and now you just blew it. You messed it up.
I think the God complex is definitely going to hit in really strong though, because if you think about it, at least the way I'm thinking about it is, we're seeing a trend right now in regards to the media, in regards to free speech and other things that are going on. That basically there's a lot of censorship happening. So I won't be surprised if that deal happens, and then we start seeing people's accounts getting shut down left and right, right and left, up and down, because it's not there's not an alignment thing. And I'm not trying to be political. I'm just saying it's just what we see already with the major programs and other people. They sharing their opinions about certain topics, and all of a sudden they're like canceled. They're not on there any longer. They're fired. So we're seeing it. But Tech Coach Ralph says TikTok can't lose. People go on TikTok and say things that that get them fired. Then they come back on TikTok to cry about getting fired. So yeah, that's true.
Bro,
Either way, so there's a lot of that gonna happen.
it
But
never
yeah,
fails, bro.
what happens when their account gets banned now because they're like, listen, we're not even giving you an opportunity to say your piece. They're gonna go to fan base. They're gonna go to Instagram. This was the thing that actually, if you remember, when the first ban or the first not even ban, the ban was supposed to happen. But TikTok said would just shut it down for a week, and what happened to people? And
Went
so
into crisis mode.
crisis mode. Some people actually got so upset they deleted their account, not realizing that a couple days later it'll be reinstated, and they lost
Dummies.
they lost all that stuff. But some people that took advantage of that, whether it was fan base or other platforms, they basically said, "Hey, Lemon, whatever, whichever one it was, come over to our side." And so we could possibly see that if this is, like you said, to your point, Trey, if this is something that is taken and diluted, then all of a sudden we're going to see other platforms arise, and then now it's going to make it more of a instead of a monopoly in a sense, even though it's not really a monopoly, it's going to definitely diverse the way people take that content and where they go. So that might be something that's interesting to keep an eye on. Tech Coach Rouse says that her TikTok has been banning people for years now. Oh, they have. But imagine it in the U.S. government's hand. It's gonna be like
Boy.
denied.
Yeah.
You too banned.
I don't know. We'll see. I have a feeling it might. I have a feeling it might.
Yeah.
If they're smart, they would leave it, or they wouldn't change too much, because again, that's why people are on there now. And so you think you're doing something good and you mess up the thing, the reason why they're on. And so
yeah, I mean, they could just kind of keep it on for just like, hey, we want it for intelligence reasons, in the sense of getting more information on people, and let them keep talking. Let them keep talking. We're trying to see what they all about now. And so yeah, definitely. Technical Drop says LOX, YouTube, Facebook was in the government's hand during the pandemic. That I definitely don't doubt that.
They talked about it.
Yeah, during the pandemic. So we'll see how that works out. I mean, they're still here.
I mean, shoot, I remember. Yeah, I posted a video once, and man, it just went away. I was like, luckily, I had it on Roku TV at the time. I'm like, well, that's crazy. It's gone from YouTube though. Wow. Yeah.
It's an LOL. They admitted it. I don't doubt that at all.
Yeah. I remember.
I don't doubt that at all, that they would admit something like that. But yeah, man. Let's keep our eyes on this story for sure. And as you know, this is a call-in show, so definitely let us know your thoughts on this. It's just very interesting how we'll see. This has been something we've been covering for probably for a very long time, actually. So we'll see if this actually comes to an end. But one thing that doesn't have to come to an end is going to these tech events. And so, in fact, Trey was at one recently, as he said. And you said it was amazing, right? I don't know if you want to share a little bit about it.
Yeah, bro. It was really good. There was a lot of people there, like 2,500 people in the building, man. So it's really great when you know someone who knows everyone, basically, because you get as they come up or as we approach, then you get introduced. But also, it was really great meeting new people. You're meeting people who work at the same company, but one's in New York, the other one's in California, and those are great places to meet someone and really build relationships. So it was a great time, man. Great food. They had great food throughout the whole event. The speaker, man, I can't remember the keynote speaker anyway. He did an amazing job. What was his name? Ben Newman. Ben Newman does a lot of work with athletes and stuff, but yeah, he was great. Yeah, I would say overall it was for sure worth it. And I had a good time.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. And so that's a great segue to talk about the Tech Wire, why you should go to these tech events, because you never know who you're going to meet. You never know what opportunities are there for you. So I will not hold you too long, y'all, because I know you guys are ready to get back to the main event, which we're going to get to right now. But just a couple of things that we're going to hit off real quickly. We have Tulsa Tech Week that's happening this week, actually starting today, from the 22nd to the 27th. We have the National Black MBA Conference that's happening in Houston, Texas, from the 24th to the 26th. Also, this week we have BTS Digital Empowerment Summit from Detroit, Michigan. That's happening from the 26th to the 27th. Now, just a couple events in October, just so you can plan ahead, y'all. We got the Black Men in Tech Thrive in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, October 2nd to the 5th. Then we have BitCon that's happening October 3rd to the 4th. That's Black in Technology. That's happening virtually from the 3rd to the 4th. And then we have October 4th, Network 216 Midtown. That's a Tech Hive mixer that's happening in Cleveland, Ohio. So you want to check that out for yourself, go to blacktechglobal.com. Again, if you want to check that out for yourself, go to blacktechglobal.com for more. Your premier site to see all of the different conversations, possible deals going on. You never know when you're in the room, you might find out a couple of things. And so go ahead and check that out. Now, one possible deal that's coming up that we made sure that we mentioned was the Oracle and Meta that may strike a $20 billion deal. And for more details, I'm going to pass it over back to Trey.
Yep, Meta, aka the parent company of Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, is in a serious talk with Oracle, like some other folks we know. But anyways, no, Oracle, the deal is about a massive cloud computing deal. It's going to be worth around $20 billion with a B. If it's finalized, this would actually be one of the biggest agreements ever for AI. A lot of stuff moving in the direction of AI. So what this deal means, it means here's what Meta needs, right? They need training AI models like its Llama AI family. It requires a lot of computing power. And so Oracle's role would be providing that power through its cloud service, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. Now, Meta, they already work with other cloud providers, but the demand for AI computing is so high, it's actually racing to secure more partners. So that's why this deal came in. So, to break it down, AI, they need a lot of big computers to learn. And Meta builds big models like their Llama model, huge, and that needs power. Oracle rents out giant computer rooms, aka the cloud, with tons of NVIDIA chips. And so this deal means that Oracle or Meta is going to pay Oracle $20 billion to use those computers, right? So, at the end of the day, this is an AI arms race. OpenAI, Google, Microsoft, Meta, they're all grabbing GPUs and cloud space. Like that's what they're bidding on and making money. People, they bid on houses right now, oh, this is a good deal. Let me go down to the courthouse and see if I can find a good deal. Right now, this is what AI is doing. Not AI, but all these companies, they're trying to snag up these GPUs and cloud space. And Oracle is right in the middle. Like, yeah, we've been here. Y'all been talking on my name, for a while. We was doing the right thing. We building these shovels. So at the end of the day, they're not just databases. Now it's a top tier AI cloud contender if they can land this deal. So at the end of the day, Llama 3, Llama 3.x, whatever size models, they eat like compute space for breakfast, and this is going to lock in that fuel, and that's going to keep it going. So anyways, Oracle says that it can train AI models faster and cheaper than any of the rivals out there. And it has built massive clusters of powerful NVIDIA chips, which is the brain behind this AI training. And they claim up to 50% better performance for the price compared to all the competitors. So, every rich person loves a good deal. And these companies are no exception. And so up to 50% better performance and less for the price. They could be a stretch, but it could also not be. Maybe they're just trying to lock in this deal. And then you get in there and they're like, man, this is only 10% better. Hey, we signed that contract already, so roll it in. So anyways, the deal hasn't been finalized yet. but the terms they could still change, right? But if it goes through, it would be a turning point for Meta. It's going to mean securing those resources that are is going to push them ahead in AI and keep them moving forward. And then on the Oracle side, it's going to really cement the status as a major force in the AI cloud market. So, at the end of the day, in AI, whoever controls this compute controls the progress. And if Meta locks it in, Oracle is going to be diving in the money, rolling in the money, because obviously there are going to be other companies that are going to follow right behind them. So, yeah, as AI development is accelerating, we're going to expect to see more crazy deals like this as well. It's just going to get bigger and bigger. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yes, we're gonna definitely see what happens. And I'm gonna go to the comment section in a moment while everybody's typing things up. This is huge, man. I'm telling you, the way Oracle is moving right now, it's kind of like saying, oh, we've been waiting for this moment for all our lives. Even though they're a massive company, they've been doing this for a
Yeah,
very long time. It just seems like this is their year in a lot of different ways. Because we talked about other things as well in the past. We were talking about who was at AE that landed that deal, that the other
exactly.
deal before, and
Exactly.
now they're working with Meta. No, this is definitely. I think this is obviously Meta needs it based off of what we discussed, but this deal right here is so important for Oracle that it really, in my opinion, I might be wrong, but it really kind of would set them apart in so many different ways. Where it's like, hey, if Meta said yes, they have all this thing there. That Meta's gonna do the due diligence. It's a copycat league, so I'm gonna have to reach out to some Oracle, uh, some Oracle salespeople and get some stuff done. Right?
100,
That's what these businesses are
100%.
thinking about. So I think it's something that we definitely keep our eye on. I know we kind of laughed about it earlier in the previous story about okay, where's the stocks at? But at that point, I don't think you can laugh. You can laugh any longer. It has to be going through the roof at this particular point, like in regards to just like the way the stocks are moving and everything like that. And definitely, I see that. I see that for sure. This would be pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's up 4% today, before the markets anyway. But yeah, it's crazy. Gonna um, it's gonna go up today.
Yeah, it's gonna keep going. So that's why I was wondering. Like, I mean, not to get too heavy in stocks, but if you have if like when you it's so funny like when you get into some companies earlier and you're like, okay, I'm just gonna hold here. You really never know. You really never know what they're gonna turn out to be in the future.
No, bro, it's you really don't, and it's crazy because I like to go back and like look at that kind of stuff just so that I can keep my mind on the in the right framework, right? But
Yeah,
um, like I just for example, if you invested $2,000 in Amazon stock 20 years ago,
hmm.
you would have over $330,000 in your account.
Wow.
If you invested $2,000 in Nvidia 20 years ago, you would have over $1.5 million in your investment account today. This is one-time investment. Now, I'm not giving investment
Yeah,
advice, but what I'm saying is
yeah,
like $2,000 one time, and then just letting it go over there and do what it does over time. 1.5 M, like it's one of those things where it's just like, hey, just put it over there in the companies that I believe in and let it sit. Don't think about it. It's just crazy to me. And so, yeah, so from time to time, I like to go back and look at that and see, like, man, what would it be if I would have just did 1,000, just
wow,
and just let it sit. But yeah,
yeah.
anyways,
At that point, $500, $100.
no,
It's still
I
yeah.
mean,
You're so right. You're so right. You're right.
ultimately, that's what I'm saying. Ultimately, like, you
Yeah,
know,
and it
but you
goes
can't
back to
take it
some.
out. You
Yeah,
can't.
yeah,
You got to leave it in. Compound interest is the reason why.
yeah. Just leave it there and set it, forget it. But I remember Jensen, the Nvidia CEO, saying that like he's like, hey, we make. There's so many people that work for our company that are now millionaires, simply because of the work that they've done with us, and simply because they got the stock, right. So it's just very very interesting. Tech Coach Ralph says there are ways to do due diligence, like looking at numbers, joining the quarterly calls, etc. But most people don't. That's true. And in the quarterly
Yeah.
calls, you could actually just look that up. You could look it up yourself as well online, read through it, or if you don't have time, you could literally put that through. I mean, you want to kind of like at least go glance through it, but you could definitely take that and put it through like a Google notebook LM, and basically listen to it. You could do, or you should read it honestly, because you could probably miss some stuff if you do that way. But just to get overall sense, you could find ways to just kind of digest that information in companies that you're interested in. It doesn't take that long to do so.
Yeah, like
Um,
bro, I mean, like I will be like over these years, I'm gonna be really looking at like what is my daughter into. Like if I'm
mm,
gonna keep buying certain stuff, you better believe I'm gonna be a supporter from the other side, right? Like
yeah,
well, I'm laughing on one side, but then I'm also like, man, you spend too much time on this not to be like, how are you playing Grand Theft Auto since I don't know, Vice City, and you're
yeah,
not invested in Take Two? Like that doesn't make sense to me. You've been playing every single one of them all these years. You waiting on Grand Theft Auto 6, and you've never invested in Take Two.
yeah.
That doesn't make sense to me. But I mean, like Ted Coach Ralph said, most people don't.
Yeah, and then you mentioned a couple of other points about Klarna. I believe that's how you pronounce it. They basically recently IPO'd, and they made some millionaires from their
I
IPO as
wouldn't. I
well.
wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it.
They opened up, I think, at 40, was it 45, 45.82. So this last one, Wednesday the 10th, around there they opened up, and so a lot of people are like clapping their hands, stomping their feet, thanking the Lord they got something to eat after that. So
100%. 100%.
yeah, so that's definitely something that is pretty real. And also, Teco Drought says you can you can invest time if you want your 2K to turn into 300K. Basically saying there's no excuses. Um,
Yes.
you do the due diligence, because who knows? This is your retirement money right here. This could be a lot. And so, but the reason why I say that, because you never know nowadays, because we see it all the time, where it's not just about the company, it's about who works there, and how people and their perception of people in regards to what they are and their reputation can also affect companies as well. So they may have a great product and things are going great, but there may be some scandal that all of a sudden makes things a little rocky. I mean, companies bounce back, don't get me
I
wrong,
mean,
but
yeah, that is true unless you're Elon Musk, I guess, like like
you can do whatever you want.
unless you're Elon, I mean, when he does something dumb, I'm just like, yes, because I know there are a lot of people who are going to make that emotional decision to pull their money out. And as soon as they do, I'm sliding in.
Yeah. Yeah, man. They're just waiting for that, just gnawing at the bit right there. Buying opportunity, right? Um,
Yeah,
uh,
buddy. Yeah, that's the only person. Now, there's some other people. Yeah, they say something wrong. Their company is cooked, right? Like, if they do something wrong, like that guy who got caught at the concert,
yeah,
ducking and dodging. Yeah, he blew it. He blew it. Elon Musk do something wrong, man. Come on, man. Have you seen Starlink's contracts? Listen, man.
that's a great concept, though. I'm not gonna lie. The Starlink concept, that's a huge one, for a lot of people. For a lot of just different areas that are remote. So good. When Elon goes low, we go high. Oh man. Yeah. Yeah. And then buying opportunity.
Yeah, man.
Buying opportunity, as Seiko's Ralph says. Man, there's a lot of opportunities for sure. I just want to let you guys know we're gonna shout out some people, those in the comment section. So go ahead and put out your comments there if you have not already. We still want to hear from you today. And there's a lot of things that are changing. This one I wanted to talk about, this story right here, because unfortunately, this new I guess legislation, I don't know if it really passed. Yeah, I know it was an executive order for this to be done. So we'll see if it still stays that way. But this affects a lot of people, not just in um, multiple different industries, but also the tech industry, which is regarding Trump's new $100,000 H-1B visa fee. Whew. I want to talk about the impact on the tech industry because, especially people that are not necessarily born here, which is pretty much all of us except Native Americans. What I mean by that is those that are indigenous to this particular company. We all immigrated from someplace, right? Or in some cases, we were brought here out of our own free will. But in regards to this particular situation, it's going to affect a lot of people that are immigrants that have, and I want to dive into it right now because this is a story that's going to definitely impact the tech industry. So, if you haven't read, President Trump has imposed $100,000 fee on new H-1B visa applications, one of the sharpest immigration policy changes ever to hit the tech industry. So, the executive order signed on September 19th, so that's only a few days ago, takes effect literally yesterday, and is meant to discourage companies from relying on foreign workers. So it applies only to new H1B H H1B applications starting with the next lottery, and
Mm-hmm.
current visa holders and renewals are exempt. So if you already have that, you should be good. Previous fees range from $1,700 to $4,500, and now
Yeah.
that's jumping up to 100K. So the policy is set
Yeah.
for 1 year but could be extended. The U.S. issues 85,000 new H-1B visas per year, and about 71% of H-1B workers are from India, especially in IT. So just to kind of give you that picture, if you're thinking about somebody that works in IT and so on and so forth that has traveled over here, I live in a huge Indian community where a lot of the people that I speak to, yeah, we work in tech. Yeah, I'm a solutions engineer. Yeah, I do this. I do that. It's very common, right? So many earn around 60,000 to 100,000 annually, meaning the fee can exceed their yearly salary. And Amazon employed about 10,969
Mm.
H-1B workers in 2025 alone, which is the largest
Yep.
employer of them. Others, we see Ernst and Young had 8,674. We see groups like Google have 7,649, Microsoft 6,649. So it's going to affect a lot of people in the future. So companies like Amazon, Google, Microsoft, JP Morgan, and Goldman Sachs told visa holders to stay in the U.S. to avoid disruptions. Right. Also, let me see. You ain't going home. You stay right here for a year or whatever, how long it is.
It's
Um,
probably better for them to hey, you trying to go see family? We'll fly them in. How many of them is it? We'll fly them in. Don't worry about that.
It'll be cheaper. It'll probably be cheaper for them to do that. And so Indian IT firms like Infosys, HCL, they rely heavily on these visas, right? This makes up about 57% of India's IT revenue, which is about 283 billion revenue. That's billion with a B, right? So the top US exposure, this is going to affect a bunch of different trees, LTI, Mindtree, HCL Technologies, a few others in various different ways. And so the companies may end up having to limit sponsorship to only the most specialized roles, shift more jobs overseas, which is what I was going to say would probably going to happen in countries like Mexico and the Philippines. So you're close, but you're not here.
Yeah. Yeah.
so like you can see they're enjoying some pina coladas in Cancun and other places. Use alternative visas like the L1s where possible, and invest in automation and AI to reduce dependency on foreign workers. So critics say this policy could hurt U.S. innovation by blocking global STEM talent, while the administration argues it's gonna. This is what they're trying to do: push firms to hire and train more Americans. Either way, the 100,000 H-1B fee is set to reshape global tech hiring strategies moving forward. Hey, I'm gonna go to tech drop real quickly here. Then I'll come back to you. So it's not like people need to level up their skill set. I mean, if you want to think about it that way, yes, this is a great opportunity for those who are Americans. They can definitely say, "Hey, I can do it. You don't have to pay $100,000 for me, except for my salary and some more." But I think what it was is just like as a whole, just kind of going into tech coach routes, there needs to be a greater emphasis in regards to the American education system to get people the proper training that they need so that they compete with the global market, so that they can be put into positions. Again, living in a heavily dense Indian community, great people, love being here. I could see how it could affect a lot of people, and they have the skill set. They come in, they do the job, and everybody's happy, right? It's just that I was like, man, this is a this is a tough one. But take Coach Rob, I'd love to hear more of your thoughts on that. I'm gonna pass it over to Trey to fill in his thoughts.
Yeah, man. No, I hear what you're saying, bro. I mean, I don't live in a heavily Indian area, although I am close. But you know, some of my greatest friends are Indian. Like, does that sound racist? No. Sometimes they be saying that kind of stuff. But no, I mean, serious though. The one thing when you think about Americans, it's possible that it could slow down some innovation at the end of the day, because a lot of the breakthroughs that we do have, if we're being honest, it comes from a lot of the foreign talent. So we have some, right? But you mentioned our education. You know, we're gonna have to step it up. But ultimately, it's about power and having the leverage over bringing in outside talent. Obviously, we know the White House and Trump, they want to hire more Americans, which is all good. But that's a big price tag, bro. Like 100 G's per person when it was just a grand or a few thousand. That's a lot. But I'm with you. There are loopholes in it, and I'm pretty sure that they're going to use them to the fullest extent. So, yeah, I mean, they protected some jobs, right? But a lot of them just got exported, whether it's to AI, right? Spin up some more AI, or like you mentioned, hey, we're gonna hit up Mexico. Let's build out a whole area over there and put them in the best of the best, and they're gonna keep it there. But yeah, I don't know. It's pretty interesting. Interesting to see what's going to happen with that. If that really, you said it started yesterday, right?
It started the 19th. Yeah, it started yesterday. It signed on the 19th. It was in effect to the 21st, and it's set for 1 year, but it could be extended. If we think about it, the fact that it's a 1 year thing, then it may not be that. The workaround may be just fine for that. They just like stall and wait it out. But yeah, that goes
yeah.
out.
So they're gonna be going to Canada, Europe, all those places, Singapore instead of the U.S. We'll see them go over there.
Yeah, so that the need for companies who don't have an international footprint to expand, it's going to be pretty huge. Um, and then Tech Coach Ralph says all these boot camp grads complain that you can't break into tech. Well, listen, I have to do. I'm going to honestly say this. I have to do a little bit more digging as to see what is the difference in regards to the education when it comes to technology in other parts of the world, specifically in the country of India, or I don't think the country of India, the continent of India, excuse me. But in regards to just like, I say the continent, yeah, in regards to that. And so, hey, good morning, Reese. Just want to shout you out.
Hey,
Good morning. Good to see you. Good to
good
see you. Good to
morning.
hear from you as well. Yeah, and so that's something I would love to compare, because I think it's something that, if I'm wrong, please correct me. But I think that it's not just something that they just pick up later in life. I think it's a part of their education system when it comes to math, when it comes to certain things, that there's a certain level or standard that they have across the board. And that's what I mean by education over here. Is it all focused towards that possibility of being in working in a technological field or in science? I think we're getting better overall, but I went to public school a couple of times. At least where I'm at, and at least I remember it wasn't it was different, and so that's why I'm kind of leaning towards like that reform needs to happen there, where it's like the focus, even when it not even let's go, it kind of boils back to the family. I won't even go too deep with it. We can even see that in other countries like Nigeria, where the focus is like engineer, lawyer, doctor, and how many people have they been able to push within those fields, and in technology and other places, is because the focus as a whole is on let's get here. Now, you did bring up another point though about tech culture. It's not our education; it's what people are interested in. We just want entertainment. That's in a lot of ways that is true. That a lot of our focus is on entertaining and being entertained and making it as a singer, as a basketball player, so on and so forth. I think as that focus changes, it's going to definitely work. And they, oh, you said it's cheaper. It's cheaper as well. Techno Drop says, and I don't doubt that as well. I don't doubt that as well. And then Techno Drop says, Why do you think the visas will affect Mexico? I mean, listen, if I'm the Mexican government, I'm like, hey, bring them here, help them build up our economy, because you're gonna be paying them a good amount of money or decent money. They're gonna be staying here. They're gonna need different luxuries. Yeah, we'll gladly accept that. That's why there's some people that we know and other people that we know that literally live in Mexico and they come back, say hello for Thanksgiving or so, and they fly on back. So
Yeah, buddy.
because it's just the quality of life overall, in regards to the money that they can basically kind of, especially where they live, because obviously there's areas where it's a little bit more dicier, but where they live allows them that luxury of basically kind of going back and forth, and they just got to visit. But Trey, I'll let you
That's
talk
it.
more.
Nah, man. I mean, that's all I had earlier, bro. It's one of those things. We'll see what it ends up doing. But at the end of the day, they're for sure um, putting. Hey, this is what I said, and I'm putting my stuff behind it. Like this ain't just it's a signal for sure. Is what I'm saying. Like, hey, 100,000. Now I know, oh, we're gonna raise it, an additional $5,000. No, 100. Who want to do that now? If the door is open, I mean, we talking the tippy top. I mean, they was already bringing over the best of it, but now it's like, yeah, we got one spot. All y'all fight for it.
Ooh.
Whoever loses the least amount of blood, this can come over. Like, yeah, I don't know, man. I want to see what it's gonna do for sure.
Yeah, and
Like,
I think I think depending on who the talent is, $100,000 will be a no brainer for some of these companies. We read and saw them giving people $250 million as a
yeah,
salary, and
yeah,
so if it's depending on the talent, and what they really need them for, it's like, yeah, you no problem, but it just makes it they have to be a lot more selective in regards to that.
yeah,
So,
yeah. So
but
either
you,
we're gonna see. Oh, go
yeah, go
ahead,
ahead.
go ahead.
No, you first. I'm gonna just respond to
No, I
that.
was gonna say either we're gonna see um like the local workers get trained up way faster. Like, oh,
Mhm.
let's put you through the top of the top, and it's still cheaper just to get you through this training. Or we're gonna see like all of the innovation and stuff that we've been seeing, like kind of slide down a little bit and
Mhm.
like leave out of the back door type of situation.
But and going on piggybacking off of what you said, and also what Coach Rob says, we know there's a big push for manufacturing here in the U.S. And there's a big push for data centers and so on and so forth here. I don't think it's going to slow down data centers happening here, but maybe it could incentivize the Mexican government to start building some stuff towards that over there. If there is this sort of like, okay, we're seeing a rise of people. Again, it's gonna be 1 year, so who knows? They might work out other loopholes that they don't have to do this. But maybe there are people within the Mexican government who say, hey, we could use this to our advantage. Let's start building out these data centers. Let's start building out the infrastructure that's needed in certain places, because now we're going to be seen as this place where people can come if they cannot make it to the U.S.
For
Um,
sure.
I mean, and I could be wrong, in regards to, and the question was, are they Mexican or American who do it there? The people I know and probably Trey knows are mostly American, that make that move and can do that. But yeah, who knows what they might do in regards to developing infrastructure there now, because it is a need, it's a demand, and the money that's being shelled out for this stuff is through the roof, like big time money. We've seen it with X in Memphis, and XAI, I mean, and we're seeing it all over the place. So yeah, that's something to think about. Something to think about for sure.
Definitely agree.
Yeah, y'all. So this is a conversation we'll have because this topic is going to be about a year long. This is also a matter of a proximity. Yeah, proximity. Yeah, I mean that's a good point. It's something that definitely we're gonna see more of, and definitely get a little bit more light on it. And we'll see the. I'm pretty sure there'll be more information regarding the workarounds that these companies do in order to make sure that they keep retaining this talent. Because and it's a little bit more to it than just a skill set thing. I think there's more things to it. Like you mentioned, it's cheaper, but overall, there's got to be more to it as to the reason why there's this push. Um, Teco Ralph says so Americans working in Mexico for American companies have nothing to do with H-1B visas. Yes, that's true. That's true. What the point of what I was trying to say is that it's not necessarily impossible for those that are coming through Mexico to work there, and then for whatever reason, shape, or form, there's that closer connection. Whether it's kind of again, we got to see what happens because it just started pretty much yesterday, so we'll see how the loop arounds and things work. But we'll definitely have probably more in regards to this as we progress. But with that being said, before we wrap up the show, I just want to shout out Tech Coach Ralph. Thank you so much for commenting on this show and sharing your insight as always. Definitely appreciated, especially around these different conversations, as well as Oris. We miss you, Oris, and it's glad that we have you on the show as well. So if you want to shout out, definitely don't hesitate to comment. We'd love to shout out those that comment and share a bit more about what their thoughts and perspectives on. We got one more thing for you before we go. We got the Brown Box special, and the question was, and this is by the credit to Reddit. I was fired today. What I feel is embarrassed, and the story kind of outlines it real quickly here. I will read. I've been working at this research company since past August at a senior level position. Prior, I was a junior analyst. Ever since I've been doing my job well, and I was complimented by my former boss. My former boss, right? And everything looked right. Around May, my former boss left the company, and I started answering to my new boss, who who was easygoing and easy to deal with at first. That is until last month when I felt overloaded and they criticized me for not being organized enough. Then another situation happened when I analyzed some data in a way that they disagreed with. Both of these situations made them vocally question my seniority role and level. Ever since those situations, I've been trying to work harder and better, paying double attention to everything and staying up until late to finish the things perfectly. Even sometimes working on weekends to organize everything before the weekdays. That's tough. Um, wow, that's tough. Yeah. And so ever since, unfortunately, it was already too late. I was fired today, first thing in the morning, and I did not think the sum of these two situations would be enough to jeopardize my career, considering how I was complimented for my work and many other situations. Anyway, in the end, they said it was not a performance issue, but a restructuring issue. Not sure if I believe in that. Now I feel a mix of bunch of different feelings beyond desperation because of the bills I had to pay. What I felt like the most was embarrassed. I was feeling very embarrassed and almost humiliated from my colleagues, my friends, my parents. Being unemployed is a common thing that may happen to anyone, but it's still very hard to shake these feelings that it's something humiliating. I still feel like crying hours later, but the tears won't come out anymore. I don't think I ever felt such a sinking feeling before. I'm trying to see light in the end of the tunnel, but it's very hard. This is more of a rant, but anything that may help, she says. Any words or any are more than welcome for those who have dealt with this. How do you do it? So listen, I was just thinking about that, and I was like, last week I think I mentioned working for a temp agency in my
Mm-hmm.
earlier days, and honestly, like it felt like you're auditioning as an orphan to be adopted by a family, and 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 one of the things that I developed during that period of time, um, it's just kind of challenging. Um, oh, now new job. Maybe not. I don't know if they're even here. Maybe not. Who knows? Techo Drop says, well, now with the 800K H-1B visa, it's faster for them to find a new job. I don't even know if they're American. We'll see. But in regards to the situation, I know that feeling of kind of feeling like you're auditioning for a job, giving it your best, and then basically says, "Oh no, your time is done. See you. Goodbye. Adios."
Mm.
So it's tough in the moment. Being let go or fired can be challenging. However, there are opportunities out there, even in this tough market. And as Tech Coach Rob says, whenever I lost a job, I saw this opportunity. There's people that have done this, done the same, and they found a better paying job in a better environment. So just keep your head up, keep going, and that's one of the things I wanted to share. But I'll pass over to Trey to add more.
Yeah, man. I mean, just after hearing this one, it's like one or two things, man. Number one, either you weren't as good as you thought you were, and that's why you can't never, you know, you can't really drink the Kool-Aid that everybody is telling you all the time. Like
Mm,
maybe you are, but at the end of the day, maybe you're not.
mm,
And what was exposed when the new boss came in is that you probably weren't. And so you got to always be evaluating, like, hey, is my skill good? Like where this person is saying it is, or where I'm looking at other people. Like we got to start being honest with ourselves. Am I as good as that person? If the
mm,
answer is no, like there are some things you can do. But if you sit around and you're like, oh yeah, I am that woman, or I am that guy, and I'm still just sitting around, I'm never growing. Well, what you'll see is someone came in and was like, yo, how did you get this role? Because I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. And then you want to try and get the boost later on, but it's too late. You should have been gradually doing it, and you wouldn't have had to been doing it every weekend, all night, staying up all day, all that. If you would have been gradually growing, then it would have been good. You've never arrived. Now, that's number one, if that's the case. Number two is you can't take it personal. It's not personal. This is business. I think we get that stuff confused when you are dealing with a company. This stuff is not personal. Like they're looking at it from the business side. Now, there are two sides to that. As like it's always little caveats. Number one, it might have been just a restructuring and you're out because you weren't up to par. Number two, it could be, hey, I want to get my buddies in here.
mm-hmm.
That I've seen it happen multiple times, man. Some new person comes in, next thing you know, boop, boop, boop. Three other new ones came in with them. They were friends before. That's what happens. Don't get mad. Don't hate the game or the player. Play the game. Like play the game. So it's multiple things there, man. But at the end of the day, never take that kind of stuff personal, unless it literally is personal. Like like oh, it's blatant. Everyone can see it. I told y'all a story before that happened to me where it was blatant that it was personal. I really was doing what I do, and you tried to, tell me that it was trash. Yo, I'm just gonna put it out in the open. You try to do it to me in private, nah, buddy. I'm just gonna go to your boss because I know your boss knows what I've been doing, and boom, next thing you know, they're fired. But that's a whole nother story. But also, I had the confidence because I knew what I was doing. Like I knew I was putting in the work. But at the end of the day, most of the time, we gotta be honest with ourselves. Are we really that person? And if not, let's do something about it today rather than waiting and trying to do it all at the end. And then next thing you know, you're done for.
Yeah, and like Techo Shroud, hit the skill gym. Like I've been in situations before where I thought what I was doing was good enough, and then you find out it wasn't,
Yeah,
and you have to pivot, and then you have to
me
push.
too.
You have to push beyond what you think is good or what people say is the standard. You have to create your own standard. I think I mentioned it
100%.
before. Like I had to create my own standard about how I do my particular job, and then from there, now it's like, oh man, we see the work you're putting in. We see the effort of it. It's fruit. It wasn't because I necessarily was like Trey said, drinking the Kool-Aid. I literally was like, I'm spitting this out. I'm making my own cocktail. or my own drink. Give me half and half, and I'm gonna make it myself. Versus
Yeah.
being caught up in what was working yesterday, and also I would even try to get closer to that particular manager or boss. And it's too late now, but in that situation, if you kind of said, "Hey, you know what? Obviously, certain things aren't working out right. Let's kind of have a conversation. Could you coach me specifically on what standard you're looking for, and really so that way I could meet it?" Like Trey said, ready. The person could already have somebody else in mind to fill your position from the moment they got in there. They were just biding their time. There's a lot of different things that could play in there because, truth be told, if a company wants you out, they'll find ways to get you out.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and but if it's a situation where like you prove yourself and show, no, I want to work hard, I want to do it. What is the standard you're looking for? Coach me on it. Sometimes taking that initiative would honestly change the tide in your favor. They're like, you know what? It's hard for me to like. They're actually trying to do it the way do what I'm trying to do by the standard I'm looking at. So true. Trey hit him with the reverse draw for Uno out.
It
Yeah,
wasn't on purpose, man. I just wanted my bonus. I wanted my full bonus, and the review that he was giving me, I wasn't gonna get it. So I'm like, listen, this ain't right.
yeah,
And you still stood on it. All right, I gotta go to your boss then. I gotta have a sit down,
yeah,
and I did it respectfully. Now, apparently, from the outside of his office, my other teammates could hear us. You know, I got a little loud, but at the end of the day, I was trying to stay respectful. But yes, if what he's saying right below that, if they want to replace you, don't give them a reason to. I totally agree with that. That there also has been times where I've been like, okay, like you mentioned, Joseph, what do you need? Like what are you looking for from me? Because what I'm doing, I think is right, but maybe you're looking for something different.
yeah,
AKA what she was doing or what he was doing was probably good for the old boss, but you don't know what this new boss wants because you haven't asked them.
yeah,
And that just made it easier for them to snip. So
yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. And yeah, we definitely could talk more about this for sure. Definitely could chat more about this before because this kind of leads into something else we could talk about next week or another time. But yeah, this the way we have to roll is different. We have to roll in a different way and make sure that we don't give them a reason to replace us, even if they don't want us to be there. But with that being said, y'all, thank you so much for rocking with us. Take over says Trey, did you do a Suge Knight on him?
nah, bro. No. I tell the story. I tell the story like that. I don't know for sure if that what I did with him was the reason he got fired. But what I do know is he was a newer manager. And like I said, after that conversation, all of a sudden he was gone. So this is just the conclusion that me and my teammates came up with, and I'm standing on it because at the end of the day, I had been there longer and I had a reputation for work, how I came to the office, how I did things, and his review. I mean, y'all, if I could have showed y'all this, it didn't reflect it at all. It was like total opposite. So that's all I'm saying. I don't know, but respectfully, respectfully.
Respectfully, you got to go. With that being said, Techo Drop says respectfully. And with that being said, thank you so much for rocking with us again. Thank you, Oris. And yes, we miss you too as well, Oris. Thank you so much again for commenting, as well as Tech Coach Ralph. And y'all, we'll talk to y'all next week on Talk That Tech. The
Number one tech morning show in the world. We'll see y'all next week, baby.